this is Katrina from VRAG, and today I will show you the steps to integrate our Barclays ePDQ payment gateway with your WooCommerce site using simple and clear steps. So before we dive in, make sure that you have an active Barclaycard ePDQ merchant account, access to the backend of your WordPress WooCommerce site and the ePDQ back office, and last but not the least, the license key for our plugin. Now, for our first step, we will go ahead and install the plugin. So from your WordPress dashboard, navigate to plugins and click add new plugin. And at the top, you will see an upload plugin button. Just click that and choose the file. Install now. Just a second here. Now, for our next step, we will activate the license key. So just continue here. All right. Now, for the license key field, just enter your license key and click this button here. It says Activate License to complete the activation. All right, there you go. So welcome to our setup wizard. Now, you may skip this for now and just follow through this video, but you can always use this later if you run into any issues during the setup. So just click this I don't need help setting up for now. All right, so we're back to the dashboard. Now I want you to navigate to your WooCommerce settings and then payments. And from the list of payment methods here, please find the ePDQ and let's finish the setup. All right, so this is our plugin settings page. Now, the key items here for the setup are the PSP ID, the SHA-in and SHA-out passphrase, and the SHA encryption method. All right. So the first thing that we will do here is to enable the plugin first by ticking this checkbox here. And then let's go ahead and enter our PSP ID. And just remember that your live PSP ID can be a word and there's no specific number of characters, and it will also depend on what ePDQ will give to you. Okay? Now, for the rest of the empty fields here, let's go ahead and add it later after we configure the settings in the ePDQ back office, as the next set of items should be done there, okay? And I will stick with the test environment for our plugin, all right? And don't forget to click the Save Change button here. Now, I already pulled up the back office site. Now, let me go ahead and log into our test account. And just a reminder that it's always advisable to perform this setup initially in a staging environment before you deploy to live. So please ensure that you are using the plugin in test mode and the ePDQ test account, because connecting the plugin in test mode to the live ePDQ account will not work. And you will know if you are using the test account as it will show here at the top, beside the Barclaycard logo. So give me a second here while I'm entering our credential. And by the way, if you don't have a test account yet, you or your client could actually reach out to ePDQ and ask for instruction. And you also have the option to check our website documentation to see, as we have instructions there on how you can create your test account. All right. So moving on, once you're logged in to your test account, please navigate to the technical information area. So from configuration, go to technical information. And from this area, we can edit all the settings that we need to configure here in the back office. So let's start with the global transaction parameters. So here we will be choosing the operation code, and you need to decide which operation you want to run the payment gateway with. And just a note, For our redirect plugin, the operation mode can only be set here in the back office, and this is also mentioned in our documentation. Now we have two types here. The first one is sale, and the second one is authorization. Now for authorization, this will put orders on hold until payment is captured, while sale, this is the most used type as this will immediately charge the customer. So I will stick with sale. And don't forget to click the save button here, and you can disregard the other fields here. All right. So next here is the global security parameters. So in this section, we just need to pick the SHA encryption method or the hash algorithm, and this should also match with the plugin settings, okay? We do recommend using SHA-256 or SHA-512, and here I will stick with 512, and you can disregard the next item here, and don't forget to click the save button, okay? Now, next is the data and origin verification. So you can disregard the payment page section here. Now, in this section, we only need to configure the top two fields. So this one and this one, right? So for the first item, we will need to set is the payment page URL. So here, you will need to enter your website URL. Just make sure there's no extra spaces added. Next is the shine passphrase. Now you need to create this on your own, and we do recommend that you use letters like combination of upper and lower cases, numbers, and certain special characters only like the exclamation point or the question marks characters. And this should also be in a minimum of 16 characters and should not go over than 30 characters to avoid any unexpected errors related to it, all right? And there are few characters or symbols that you can use here, which is also mentioned in our ePDQ setup guide on our website documentation. So if you want to check, you can go to our website. Now I will be entering the shine passphrase that I created earlier. So just remove this one. There you go. And don't forget to click the save button here. Okay. Now, the shine field here for the checks for Barclaycard direct link section, this is only for processing refunds as we are using the direct link API to process refunds for ePDQ. Now, you can disregard this for now as we do have a separate guide for this. All right. So next is transaction feedback section. Now, for the first four fields here, you can disregard this. And as a note, there should be nothing in these fields here as our plugin will do all the hard work of setting these URLs on its own. Next is to make sure that the tick box here that says, I would like to receive transaction feedback parameters on the redirection URLs is ticked. Next is to make sure to untick this box next to it that says, I would like Barclaycard to display a short text to the customer on the secure payment page if a redirection to my website is detected immediately after the payment process. All right. Now, the next item here is the shout out passphrase. Now, just scroll down a little bit here. There you go. So this one has the same requirements as the shine passphrase. So I will go ahead and enter the passphrase now that I created as well. Give me 1 second here. Next here is the parameters needed for our plugin. So just scroll up a little bit to dynamic e-commerce parameters. And now let's select the parameters that we need. So let's start with app address. And just a note, before you click the next parameter, make sure you click the control button on your keyboard. So the next after app address is acceptance. And then scroll down to com plus, and then NCE error, order ID, pay ID, and status. All right, so let me just double check. App address, acceptance, com plus, NCE error, order ID, pay ID, and status. All right. Next is enabling the processing message during the payment process. So in the same section, just scroll down a bit more to general. So here, and then we should take this. I would like Barclaycard to display a processing message to the customer during the payment processing. This option displays a processing message that should encourage your users or customers to wait until the redirection is completed. So this is important as well. Now, before we move on to our next step here or on the next section, I would like to set up our webhook feature as well. So this feature functions as a critical safeguard to ensure that the website accurately receives the necessary payment data. So let's continue in the same section, transaction feedback. So scroll up a little to direct HTTP server to server request. So here, now the first thing that we will set here for the webhook feature is the timing of the request. It should be set to online. And then next here, let's go ahead and add the webhook URL here on the two fields. If the payment status is accepted, on hold, or uncertain, and if the payment status is canceled by the client or too many rejections by the acquirer. Now, your webhook URL should look like this. So let me show you an example. So this will be your website URL, and you will add this bit of characters highlighted in gray. Now, the other option to add your webhook URL is to copy it from the plugin settings. So let's go back to the site. And you can see here webhook. Now you can copy the URL here. So let me copy ours. One moment here. Once you're done copying the webhook URL, you can paste it here like this. Make sure there's no extra spaces or extra characters added here because the webhook will not work in that case. And the next is the request method. You should set it to post. Now just scroll down a little and then let's add the parameters needed here in dynamic e-commerce and dynamic parameters for the webhook. So just leave the ones that we added earlier. Those are also needed. Now let's add the remaining characters that we need. So ava check, then ava name, ava zip, and then alias, pin, brand, card no, and then CVC check, ECI, ED. Right, so that's it for dynamic e-commerce parameters. Now for the dynamic parameters, let's select the items here. So alias ID, alias NC error, alias NC error card no, alias NC error CN, alias NC error CVC, alias NC error E, and then alias order ID, alias status, alias store permanently, card BIC, card bean, card brand, card holder name, card number, card CVC, and then last is card expiry date. Right now, in the general section here, let's go ahead and tick this checkbox here that says I would like Barclaycard to relaunch the end of transaction process if required. And then make sure to click the save button here, the bottom of the page, to make sure that these changes are saved. Now, when the webhook is properly set, all your orders that encounter failed in pending status or canceled payment orders will be checked automatically and it will also be processed. Now, if there are issues with the webhook, you can use our status check feature as a fallback. And we do have a guide for both feature in our website documentation. All right, so let's move on to our next step here. So we will be checking if the 3D Secure is activated on your card brand that you wish to use on your account, navigate to Advanced, and then click Fraud Detection. So from here, you can see the list of card brands that you have. And you can see it says here under the 3D Secure Status column, it says active. And then it will also show when was it activated. Now, if the 3D Secure is not yet activated for your card brands, you can click this request button here. So let me show you how it's done. All right, so there you go. It was activated and the date was also updated here. Now, if you wish to add any additional card brands, just go to configuration and then payment methods. Now, in this section, you can see this tab here that says choose new payment method. You can click that and fill out, and then you can add the other card brand that you want to use on your account. All right. Now, the next thing that I want you to verify is if the correct currency is set in your account. So let me show you quickly where to check it. So just go to this account area and then currency tab. We have our account set to GBP. Now, to check if it matches what we have on the website, just go to WooCommerce settings here on your website. Show you here. So under the general tab, just scroll down a bit and then you will see here the currency it's set to GBP as well. So make sure that these two matches, okay? All right, so let's go back to our plugin settings. So please navigate to payments and then ePDQ. So from here, we will now enter the other items on the field here. So let's start with the SHA in passphrase. And then the SHA out. And then choose the SHA encryption. So I choose 512 earlier and I will choose this one here as well. Now you can add accepted cards here. So I have the Visa and MasterCard. So it will show on the checkout page. And don't forget to hit the Save Change button. Alright, so we're all set here. So for our last step, this is the most crucial step to complete before you deploy live. You should perform test payment multiple times, and I will show it to you here quickly how it's done. So let's go to the site and then shop. Let's add an item to the cart. All right, so view cart. All right, proceed to checkout. So I already filled this out earlier. Let's scroll down here. Now let's use this Visa card number. And if you wish to use other card brand like MasterCard, we do have test cards that you can use. And you can find it on our website documentation as well. Or you can just click this link here and it will prompt you to that page. Right? So let's pay using ePDQ. It's the card number and then the expiration date. So for this, you can choose any future date, any card code or CVV, and continue. So if your plugin is in test mode, you may see this ACS challenge simulator. And don't be alarmed as this is an expected behavior and you only need to press continue transaction button here. So your customer won't see this screen if you switch to live mode. Now, we're done doing the test. As you can see, it was a successful order. But if you have encountered an error, first want to check the error log section in the ePDQ back office. So let's go back to our account. Now, once you're logged in, navigate to configuration and then error logs. So in the description field here, you will most likely find the error code. And once you found the error code, just visit our documentation in the website, just like this. So let's go to documentation. And you can choose the search bar here and paste the error code, and you should see a guide to troubleshoot the error. Now, if you can't find any result here to resolve the error and you're still having issues, what you need to do is enable the plugins debug log. So let's go back to the dashboard and then WooCommerce settings, payments, and ePDQ. So from here, you can find the enable debug section and just enable debug reporting. Now, once you're done enabling the debug log, please run another test transaction or another test payment on your site. If our plugin finds something wrong with the plugin setup, it will log this and tell you how to fix it. Okay. Now, if you continue to experience difficulties, please submit a support ticket on our website and we would love to investigate on your behalf. All right. I hope this video helped out and see you on our next tutorials. Have a good day. Bye now.